So guys, we're doing a Bible study. One more tip right here. Really quick, we're going to do a Bible study on money. Give you guys a couple of verses. So today we're going to be reading on the ESV version. ESV, I heard, is really, really good. Let me see. What's easy? In the way that you live, you do not want lots of money. Be happy with the things that you have. Be happy because God has said this. I'll never leave you. I'll always be there for you. Interesting. So easy. Seems like it's so this is gonna be more as of like a me and you talking back and forth type of thing. Where I'm gonna implement questions and then ask for your thoughts, while I'm kind of asking for my own thoughts too, at the same way. While I'm reading some Bible verses, it's gonna be like a very direct Bible study in a way. I'll ask questions, and I'll answer my own questions in that way. So, when those people, and I'm reading the easy version, I guess. Let me see, actually one that's kind of, let's try ESV. Most people know ESV. For we brought nothing into this world, and we cannot take anything out of this world. That's 1 Timothy 6:7. So what this is saying is obviously like, you have to keep in mind that the money that you're trying to achieve in this world is easily dwindled away. It can be taken away from you, and it's something that's a tool. You know what I mean? Like, there's just some people out there that use the idea of money as I have to live by this. And that's what it means about you cannot obey both God and money, is that you cannot replace God's position for money. And when you start living in those terms of replacing God with money, it becomes a very destroying thing for your own soul. In many ways, we do this, rather if that's waiting for our next paycheck or living a life of just blasting it all and not really saving anything for our future selves. And that's what I get from that Bible verse of that we can't take anything. We can't. At the end of the day, if I'm a millionaire, I die. Can't take it with me. But you know what I can bring though? I can bring my soul with me that passes away and that rises because I'm a Christian, obviously, baptized in his name. I can take that with me up. So all the good deeds, I can't take those good deeds with me. Those memories I can. Those thoughts that I have of helping people, that cute little dog that I had when I was 25. Those things, those memories will come with me up for sure. And that's what those things are. Those are the true riches of heaven, to be quite honest, is those memories, the mansions that we're going to have in heaven, the golden river, blah blah blah. What's above other things? They are to do good, to be rich in good works, to be generous, ready to share. 1 Timothy 6:18 ESV says that, and what it means is, I realize what they want you to change your mentality on is not the riches of this world, it's the riches of your deeds that really make a world a good place and really encourage people to be motivated and to be happy. You know what I mean? It's not the money, it's the riches of your deeds, the riches of your knowledge, or the riches of encouraging, because that's what the Bible does. That's what we do as human beings, is we encourage. And I think that's what I got from 1 Timothy 6, for we brought nothing into the world. I already read that one, sorry. 1 Timothy 6:18. They are to do good, to be rich in good works, not rich in your mansion, not rich in currency, no, rich in good works, to be generous and ready to share. Be ready to share is super important, because giving money to the homeless, very good example. Being good to share, as in like being ready to share, as in like being open and willing to share your stuff with other people so that they can get by work or get by in life. Just being very open to sharing. Ecclesiastes 5:10. He who loves money will not be satisfied with money, nor he who loves wealth with his income. This also is vanity. So I think Ecclesiastes, Solomon wrote this. I actually have infatuation for Solomon in the Bible because he was one of the wisest men, and God gave him wisdom and understanding, and added everything else onto him because he didn't ask for wealth. He didn't ask for power. He just asked for good thoughts, being a good, true leader for the people of Israel. If I stand corrected. So he who loves money will not be satisfied with money, nor he who loves wealth with his income. Because you have to realize that as somebody that's the richest person in the world for that era, that is somebody that is never satisfied, like if you're always eating junk food all the time, you're never truly satisfied after you eat junk food, to be quite honest, because after like 10 minutes of sitting down and waiting that food to go through your body, you're so hungry, and it's kind of like the same way with money, because money is junk, money is just another vanity thing that the U.S. economy creates so that you use it to gain stuff and to put yourself in a better position in life. And people abuse that, poor people especially, they put money as their god because they didn't waste their money responsibly, I guess. They didn't save their money. Poor people have lack of financial knowledge. And when you lack financial knowledge in general, you tend to struggle. But where am I going with this? He who loves wealth with his income. You're never satisfied. What God is telling us here is what Solomon is telling us here is to not follow money. Follow God, who is rich in his glory and in his grace and everything else. And when you trust in him, all these things will be added on to you. What it means by he who loves wealth, and again, it says he who loves wealth, is making money their God, and they will not be satisfied with their income. That's what it means to me, because that refers to Matthew 6:24. In my personal opinion, again, is when you love wealth, that's when you're making it your God, and you're not valuing what life has to offer to you when you're setting money as your God. And it just says you'll never be satisfied. Your hunger will never stop for money. And that worries God. Next one. Matthew 6:21. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So what that means is treasure is what you're focused on. Just like pirates, when they're looking for treasure, their journey is getting that treasure and going forward. The treasure for some people is the treasure of lust, the treasure of getting the next bigger thing, the treasure of attractiveness. You're just focused on becoming more attractive, and you're not really focused on God himself. You know what I mean? And that's what's scary about this life, is that what you treasure is where your heart is set upon. If you're treasuring bad relationships and bad habits, your heart will go towards that way. And that's where it's scary, because if you're not paying attention to what your treasure is and what you're looking at and what you're looking forward to, now, is it okay to have hobbies and enjoy your hobbies? Yeah, that's 100% fine. Is it okay to have talents that God has given you and use those talents to help? Yes, that's perfectly fine. It's just treasuring stuff like materialistic things, the next big car. Treasuring can be the next big job, the next big opportunity, God says don't worry about those things, for those things can disappear. They're vanity, they're dust, You have to focus on him, because he's the one that leads to true salvation and cleanses you up and keeps you uplifted. It keeps you positive. That's why you have the spirit of peace in you when you follow him, and you're not stressed and you're not overwhelmed about life, is because you have the spirit of peace in you, and you're calming down, and you're not overwhelmed about life. And that's what I truly like having, is that peace. That nobody can set me off. Nobody can drive me crazy. It's because I have the spirit of peace in me. The spirit of peace of, I'm not going to worry, because if I worry, that's what the devil's playbook is. He wants you to worry. That's what he wants for you. He wants to set a new treasure in your heart to fill up that hole and then empty again. Fill, empty, fill, empty, fill, empty. Why not fill that hole permanently instead of trying to follow the treasure every single time with God? And that can seal that permanently, like cement with a hole, you know? And that's what it is you want to seal it. So that's why you can't treasure it. So Proverbs 3:17, this is a good one. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle. Wealth that gains hastily will dwindle. So hastily means quickly. I'm going to tell you guys a really good story that I had with AMC in my desperation with getting rich. I probably put $1,000 down on AMC back in 2020. And I was doing $20 deposits slowly. Sometimes I would even throw $100, $100, $100, $20, $200, $10, $5 here and there. So I got to $1,000 with AMC. I lost probably more than half of that money playing that stuff. And there's people that made money and there's people that lost money. And my thing is that's what it means in that Bible verse, is that when you make money quickly, it goes away quickly. Just like putting your money into a gambling machine, making $1,000, you're probably most probably not going to save all that money. You're going to say to yourself, okay, I made this money super quickly. I have a right to spend it and waste it on whatever dumb stuff I want to, because you got it quickly. And that's why it'll dwindle away quickly. But it tells you right here, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it. So whoever gathers little by little, that means saving. That doesn't mean that the money that you have is all of it, you put it away. No, you don't put all of your money away. You put a certain percentage into your savings account, and the rest you pay your bills with. And whatever's left over after you save your money and after you pay your bills, you use that stuff for whatever you want to do truly, because you're saving your money and you're following this Proverbs in the Bible. And when you follow this, it works, and it really works, because these what develop true and good habits within you. So and this is where I kind of implement a question, is what are you doing to gather it little by little? Are you selling things? Meaning my PlayStation 3 that I don't use, or the cologne that I just wasted $200 on. Am I selling that and saving it little by little so that I can grow a tree? It's like planting things, you know? If you don't plant it, you won't get it. So you have to plant something, whether that's a little bit or a lot of it. Like I tell people all the time, if you invest at least $2, $1, $4, it adds up quickly. I have a position with NVIDIA that started with literally me depositing $5, $2, $7, and I got up to like $500, $400. And little by little, that will add up. And that will be putting yourself in a better position. So be patient. This Bible verse is super important because, again, wealth gained hastily. When you're in a rush for stuff. Rushing for stuff will never get you into a firm foundation. Set yourself up a budget. Stick to that budget. Don't touch the money you have saved. Because, like I said, if it dwindles quickly and you waste it, it will move as quickly. So take that Bible verse and use it for your own life. Let's see. That's about Ghana. I got with you. So 3:10. So 3:10 says, and then your barns will be filled with plenty, and your vats will be bursting with wine. But I wanted to go back. Because if you follow through with every single Bible study that you do, just like this one, you want to follow what the verse says after, and sort of what the whole chapter is referring to. So this is what we do in the Bible study. Let's go back from the top. My son, do not forget my teachings, but let your heart keep my commandments. For lengths of days and years of life and peace, they will be added onto you. But let your heart keep my commandments. For lengths of days and years of life and peace will be added onto you when you keep my commandments. And don't forget my teachings. In ESV it says that, but I think in NIV, which is what I'm looking for right now, my son, do not forget my teachings, but keep my commands in your heart, for they will prolong your life many years and bring you peace and prosperity. Do not forget my teachings. And I think a good rough idea about that is what was I going to say? Is that when you don't forget teachings that people give you, it adds on peace and prosperity. Prosperity means good things. It means motivation. It means good things. It means, I think I said good things. It means encouragement. That's what prosperity means. It's a motivator. That's what happens when you follow the commandments. And you follow the teachings and you don't forget them when people teach them to you. Let love and faithfulness never leave you. Bind them around your neck. Write them on the tablets of your heart. Then you will win favor and a good name in the sight of God and man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and not lean on your own understanding, and always submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. That's a good one, because you might think that you're being wise with whatever steps that you're taking and you say. And I've been in those arrogant spots before. Again, I thought I was in the position of AMC is going to make me rich. And you know what? I felt like a fool when it didn't, because of the fact that when I recorded that video and I posted it on YouTube Shorts, I think probably like 4 years ago, I was like, whoa, this seems kind of absurd. Like, I'm making this video and then I'm going to be rich. No, it doesn't work like that. That's not how this world works. And the best way to put it is the devil is a microwave and the God is a crock pot, you know. He cooks slow, but at the end you'll achieve the results that you've always wanted. The devil's the microwave, you know. The edges are hot and the middle's cold. So it never ends up being a full, complete cooked meal where you feel complacent. You always feel like something isn't right when the devil's cooking something in the microwave for you. But if God's the crock pot, you can always make sure that the edges are hot and the inside's going to be hot too. So it's going to be a complete, well-cooked meal. And it's going to taste good too. All right. Fear the Lord and shun evil. This will bring health to your body, nourishment to your bones. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over with new wine. So what he's saying here is Proverbs 3:9. Give me a second. So that's Proverbs 3:9. So I'm just typing this so that I don't forget this. So what he's saying is, and I like this verse actually quite a bit. And it says, honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. Then your barns will be filled to overflowing. So what does this mean? This means that with the wealth that God gives you, doesn't matter if you're working at McDonald's, doesn't matter if you're a CEO of a company, doesn't matter if you're just doing side hustle yard work for $50 a day. With the wealth that the Lord gives you, honor Him. Because He's saying, if you honor Him through those situations when He blesses you with wealth and you bless others with it, you can receive a barn that will be filled to overflowing. Not build a little bit, not slightly filled, not filled, filled to overflowing. Isn't that great? That's crazy. So if you really think about it, if I pour a cup, and I pour this cup, and I just keep on overfilling it. So you're telling me, if I use my wealth to honor Him, meaning donating to a charity, donating my money to the church, or helping the homeless, and using my money to help these things. You can even use your money for buying somebody something if they need it. This is what honoring your wealth is. You're helping people. Maybe that person in front of you in line doesn't have enough money to pay for their coffee. Maybe you might use that money to pay for their coffee. And that's a really good story that will work. And I like that, because if I keep all the money to myself and I say, I'm not helping this person, I'm not helping them, they've never helped me, that person's never helped me, they've never helped me at all, that person sucks, that person is a douche, how do you expect God to help you? He's not going to help you. It's almost like He's going to tell to you, oh, you're not helping them, so why should I help you? Almost in that same perspective. It's almost like treat people how you want to be. Not that idea. But turning the cheek. That's what I'm looking for. Turning the cheek. That same way is what you're going to be using the wealth with. They might have treated you badly. Yeah, okay, but they're broken down on the side of the road. Why not help them out? If you see somebody walking on the wrong side of the road and they're about to get hit and stuff, help them out, help them out, motivate them, hey, you don't have to be walking on the wrong side of the road like that. You're going to get hit. Come on, let's get off and let's walk on the sidewalk, Honoring the Lord with your wealth, is pretty good. I like that Bible verse a lot. And when you help people, He will help you. Wealth-wise. That's what it's saying here. Let's see what else we got. So let's find more money ones. I'm going to end this video very shortly. Thank you guys for joining my Bible study, even though it might be slightly confusing, but listen, if we can get this together, if you guys are listening still, you guys are awesome. As I'm learning about money, and this keeps me accountable too, so I'll definitely be uploading this. I'll probably label it Bible study on money or something of that sort. So Malachi 3:10, bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Test me in this, says the Lord, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will be not be room enough to store it. So what is Malachi 3:10? Bring the whole. So let's say, let's see this. What does Malachi 3:10 mean? This is one of the more popular scripted cited by the so-called prosperity gospel, despite it having no bearing on a modern believer. As with verses 8 and 9, this entire discussion is directed at Israel and within the context of the covenant between God and that nation. Those promises are still in effect, but they apply in literal terms only to those who are under that covenant. Israel, this verse, in nonsense, implies a guarantee from God that those who donate to his cause will be materially blessed. The general principle is sound. We ought to work for the will of God rather than our own ends. That's a good way to put it. However, God does not guarantee wealth or success to the Christian believer under any circumstances. This promise reflects back to Deuteronomy 28. In that passage, God describes a series of blessings for obedience and curses for failure, tied to the Israelites' faithfulness in their covenant with him. Ancient agriculture was particularly vulnerable to insect and other natural dangers, so the pledge was made over. Verses 10 and 11 seems to relate specifically to keeping such harms at bay. The storehouse most likely means a particular area of the temple used to hold tithe, grains, and other sources. Okay. It's a reminder and an encouragement to Israel, God's covenant through Moses, including positive promises in response to obedience. However, it is also includes negative consequences in response to disobedience. So, exactly, Israel has been robbing God by failing to pay his tithe. Israel's lack of success in this case is partially because of their own disobedience. Even so, God promises to restore Israel's fortunes if they will be faithful. Though often misapplied, these requirements and promises are meant only for Israel, not all believers at all times. So what this is explaining, hopefully I'll get to ending this soon, is that if you put your effort to donate and stuff like that, God will help you. So exact thing how I was explaining last time, just in Malachi. I think I was explaining, did I explain this last time? I think I did. Yes, it seems so. It says donate to the church, donate to the church so that there's food at my house. Help people who are hungry, because if you help people who are hungry, I will help you. But what I'm understanding off of that is that it talks about disobedience also, if you're disobedient to me and you're not helping people with your wealth, I can easily take that away too. So there's consequences for your actions when you do and consequences for your actions when you don't. So that's very, very interesting. Do not wear yourselves out to get rich. Do not trust your own cleverness. So is that so we're going to have to do that again. Saying do not wear yourself out to get rich. Do not trust your own cleverness. Cast but a glance at riches, and they are gone, for they will surely sprout wings and fly off to the sky like an eagle. Okay, so it's basically plain and simple. It's telling you that do not wear yourself out to get rich. Do not trust your own cleverness with money. So don't be clever, What it's telling you right there is that don't trust your own thoughts when it comes to money and riches, because he's the one that controls it. It says trust your riches within him. Don't be so focused on your own thoughts and your own cleverness to getting around money and making money quickly and all these other stuff, because you don't know. He's telling you to read the word and find out what money truly, truly means. That's what it says, don't wear yourself out to get rich. And that's Proverbs 8:4. So I'm going to go back. I'm actually going to copy this because this is quite interesting. And like I said, do not wear yourself out. Don't exhaust yourself. Don't stress, That's what it's saying. Don't stress yourself out to get rich. Don't trust your own cleverness, Don't stress about it. Know that your God's got you and he's going to provide when the time is due. If you're obeying him and you're following him and you're using the money that he's giving you responsibly, he will upgrade your lifestyle accordingly to how obedient you are to him. That's what I understand from that. Are you being obedient to him? Are you trusting him with the little wealth that you have in your life right now? Are you donating to the church? Are you helping the homeless people? Are you donating your money maybe to a cause? Maybe you're donating your time to something. This is where it truly matters. Is when you're donating your time, because that also matters too. It doesn't have to be financial. It can be your time, your energy, your ideas. Because some people charge for their ideas. You know what I mean? So when somebody asks you a question, donate your ideas to them. Your creative thoughts. Those are truly, truly good things to really take to thought and help people with. And that's what I get. And that was a little quick Bible study for today. So what did we learn today, to recap, is wealth that is gained quickly will fall away quickly. But those who save little by little will increase it. When you save little by little, you increase it. It's common sense. If I save $5 today, $5 tomorrow, $5 the next day, $5 the next day, it's 5, 10, 15, 20, it's increasing. It's Bible common sense. It tells you don't stress about money, because money will cause all kinds of troubles. 1 Timothy 6:10 CEV. So Charlie English Victor, CEV. That's the version. It's telling you that don't worry about money, because there's a lot of people that have fallen away from their faith by following money. Trust in him. Trust in him that he will provide for you. He tells you, why are you worried about what you're going to wear or what you're going to eat? Don't you see about the birds and all these animals I have to feed too? I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he tells us. And last but not least, do not wear yourself out to get rich. Don't be clever. Don't think you're a smartass. And trust in him. He will show you the ways. He will give you true guidance. And he will lead you on the right path. For his path is narrow and many are very wide. And remain patient. Patience is key throughout this whole thing. God is a crock pot. The devil is a fast cooker. Cold on the inside, hot on the outside. Love you guys. Peace out.